Hello and welcome to the Knowing Show. I am your host, Christene Marie, and y'all, tonight we are going to be talking about the integration of physical health and physical intelligence with spiritual health and spiritual intelligence. We talk so often about the integration of our intelligences, how our intellectual intelligence is related with the emotional intelligence. And this evening, as we're diving into the physical and the spiritual, it's no exception. So as we dive into this topic around how do we awaken our physical body to then speak to kind of our allowance to even sense something on a spiritual level, we have to be able to awaken and come in touch with our physical self. And I am so excited to have Angie Holzschuh here. Y'all, she is a world-renowned speaker, author, and has worked with world champions all across the globe. And she is generously giving of her time tonight. Angie, thank you so much for being here.
Hello, thank you so much, Christene, for your introduction. It's great to be here and to share with your audience.
I'm so privileged to have you here, Angie, because this conversation, Sundays are like a sacred day. I've only ever had one other guest join me on these Sundays over the past 146 days of going live. And when you and I met, we actually met at a mastermind a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about just the work that you've done. And before we dive into the work that you've done, I'd love to kind of hear your story of how you actually like the physical pain and transformation you went through. And then after we do that, I'm just going to share a brief little trailer for those listening, just sharing about the work that you do for others. But before we get there, can you tell us about your story and what led to this discovery of yours?
Yeah, of course. I'm a German health activist and I'm the #1 coach for pain and injuries because I found a brand new solution on my own body. I had so many problems with sport injuries, crashes. I had a paralyzed arm and I was in constant pain. And finally, I found out that my bones were dislocated and my joints were blocked. And that's it. That's the entire secret. And it's a worldwide pattern. It's the source of any health problem, and it all starts in the bones.
And yeah, keep going.
Yeah, because I was a professional athlete, ranked 3rd in the world. And when I was 30, my spine was so blocked that I couldn't walk anymore. And I knew it before because I tried everything over years. But you come to the day when it's day X and the bomb drops and you can't move anymore. Nobody could help me over years. So I had to find a solution on my own body just to save my life. And I found this major health solution. I solved my problem. And then I started to help also my colleagues in the World Cup because every athlete is injured. And we have a lot of testimonials from the World Cup. Now, I want to share my secret with everybody. Everybody who is ready to improve his health needs this knowledge. And I made a lot of videos and tutorials to share this knowledge.
And Angie, before we dive into that, I'm so excited because I know that the trailer that we've got, 80 seconds here, which is so powerful. And before we dive into that, Angie, how did you even get into kind of the sports world anyways? And like, was it just the deterioration and breaking down where things started getting dislodged? Like, what was kind of the genesis of this for you?
Yeah, it happens to everybody. We have a lot of crashes in our life, but as an athlete, you have more accidents, you are more exposed to injuries. But seriously, it's a problem for everybody. And that's why I had this strong instinct that I need to share my solution because I saw the problem everywhere. This is my website, finallypainfree.com, and we're going to put the link below. There people can find tutorials and testimonials. We have unbelievable results because everybody has the same problem sooner or later, and we need new techniques and new knowledge to make a difference.
So let's go ahead. I'm just going to, and I've never done this before, so I'm excited to share this video that Angie has of, honestly, the transformation that she's caused for other people. So I'm excited to play this for you, and then we can dive into some more specific questions.
It is a miracle. I'll be back playing basketball in no time.
Pretty excited because I've never seen anything like this before in my life.
Unbelievable. So crazy, and now I feel like I knew, you know.
I felt like an owl. I felt like I could turn my head in a complete 360 degrees.
She truly found the reset button.
Angie's technique is the best I've ever come across.
I felt like a brand new person.
Oh, I really think it's a great treatment, and it really works.
It really helps me to stay fit and stay on top of my game.
This is very fabulous work.
She proceeded to push at a level that was beyond anything I could imagine.
It's an absolute must.
What I see then on the spine is a total chaos that I just have to sort out.
So, congratulations first. I mean, you spent 25 years doing research and trying to effectively heal yourself. I think that that's one of the biggest things that is so worthy of noting, that with the multiple crashes and crashes is in just like the tumbles and falls that so many athletes go through. It's nothing major. It's nothing big with the big, I call it like big T traumas, but it's all the little traumas that our body incurs throughout our lifespan that really can manifest in just like all of a sudden one day. And was that kind of your experience? Was it an all of a sudden one day you just couldn't walk anymore? Or what was that like?
Well, the problems accumulate in your body, and you come to a point where it's just too much and it's over. And the athletes come to this point earlier, but in the end, everybody has blocked joints, and the joints get rusty and the people get immobile. And this method helped so many world champions and professional athletes to become finally pain-free in no time. But I see this also on every other patient. I see it daily. My patients, they are finally pain-free after years of struggle. I see the patients happy every day because they get fast results. And this magic happens because we work totally different.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, how did you actually find this solution for you? Because you said you went to so many different doctors and nobody could help you. So how did you actually find it and come up with this method? And what is the method?
Yeah, I can explain it because I see my patients daily being so excited, how you saw it in the trailer, how we manage to get finally pain-free, even sometimes in the first session. Some people after 10 minutes without any drama, pointless exercises. In the end, I must say I found the number one trick for longevity. And longevity only makes sense in a healthy body, because if you are sick, you don't want to live forever.
Yeah.
And everybody can do this, you know, not billionaires, because money can't buy you a new body, but you can refurbish it. You can refurbish every single joint. How? You can do it with my cleaning techniques. It really gets possible for everybody. And I can show you my tools and how to use them with your own body weight. I can show you one tool, for example, this is the wooden spoon. And we go with the spoon into the joints and we clean inside. And we have a relaxer. This is a tool where we go with vibration. Can you see the vibration?
Yeah, interesting. Wow, so the wood vibrates. Okay.
With this drill, we go into the bones, we make tunnels around the bones, and we free up bone by bone. It's like dissecting around the bones. If you see this spine, for example, we clean every edge, every corner.
Wow.
It's very systematic work. And when we finish, we stick the magnets to regenerate the area. Because it's kind of like a surgery inside of you that you are doing on your own body.
So interesting. Can you talk a little bit about the magnetic aspect of things? Because I can understand going in with the tool. And what does that actually do? You said so much of it is that our spine is actually blocked in between our joints and in between. Is it our spinal tissue is blocked?
Yeah, I can show you here.
Yeah.
Can you see that? bone dislocated?
Yes.
So this is a block, and this happens along the entire spine. It's constantly, everything is out of place. And so we work on the spine because all the organs are connected, and depends where the joint is blocked, this organ suffers. And it's like a plant. If the plant gets no water, it starts to die slowly. So
Right.
we have to reset the bone, make everything flow again. And then when we reset the bone, the organs keep working and keep functioning at 100%. And I can make a short demo for you how to use the tools. I will use now my wooden spoon. And if you don't have the spoon at home, take a metal spoon in your kitchen and do the exercise with a metal spoon. It has to be a sharp edge because you really want to cut into the fibers. For example, here on the elbow, you go into the tissue, into the joint here, and you find pain spots. Yeah?
Yeah.
And the same thing, you go
just into your spine. So you would take it behind you and kind of work it in between. The question I have is once it's broken up, you said everything can kind of flow again. Like, can you talk about kind of the science behind it when you're talking about everything can flow again? Is it the cerebral spinal fluid, or like what kind of fluid and movement is taking place once they're unblocked?
Yeah. So it's just a mechanical dislocation, because if you get hit here, your bone gets out of place. And this happens to everybody. It can happen even at birth. So and you drag your whole life with you. So what I do, I go with this into the spine and I search for pain spots. And it's so nice to do it by yourself because you're in charge. You have all the power. This is a real privilege to have the tools in your hand and to go inside your own body and find it. And how I found it, I am a scientist. I studied my own body. I went deep into the anatomy, and deeper than anybody on the entire planet can imagine. And that's how I found how to clean all the muscle fibers and all the joints. And I developed these body skills to become finally pain-free by going all in, deep into the bones, here into the spine, and I cleaned any joint.
Wow. Angie, this is so important because even what you were saying about you can be born basically with different muscles and dislocations happening along the spine, and then our babies can be so cranky and be just so unhappy. I mean, one of my nephews, he actually was iron deficient, so it wasn't a spine problem, but my sister and her husband were just besides themselves. Like, they just had no idea what to do, and it was something as simple as, oh, he just needs some iron fusions. And it was such a blessing because now he's a happy baby. He can sleep and he's walking now and all that. But if people don't understand and know how to search for it, so how can they search for it on them? They would just actually take a spoon, take your tool, run it along the spine, and just like, okay, where is there pain? And then wherever there's pain, just kind of dig in a little bit.
Yes. You dig in a little bit and you get brave over the time, because you will not at the first time reset that bone. What we do is take the rust out. This is the clean technique, because everybody has rusty joints. So just look around you. Everybody has back pain because the therapies don't work. Nothing works. Look at the old people. They are stiff. They are suffering. They sit in a wheelchair. And if we want to have a different result when we get older, we have to work different, because our body accumulates infinite symptoms. Imagine this is like a swimming pool. It's like water in the swimming pool, and it fills up over your life. So if you go to a therapist, they will take one drop out, but you also need to work on it. And with the tools and your own body weight, you can reverse the symptoms. So I get you on board because you need to work actively and you need to be in the know. And with my coaching, I share the techniques that are needed, and I give the body back to the patient.
Angie, the thing that I really appreciate about what you're saying is, this whole concept of healing on your own. It's very much so in alignment with knowing our bodies, knowing our souls, knowing our emotions, taking radical responsibility for every part of our health in every regard. And this is why I was so excited to have you on, because you did the work. You actually healed yourself, whereas so many people are just outsourcing their healing to other people, whether they're outsourcing it to doctors, outsourcing it to even therapists, but even pastors. Today, the theme of today is spiritual intelligence with the integration of physical. And it's just the question of what am I and where am I? How am I outsourcing my healing, and to whom am I outsourcing it? Because it could be the pope, the priest, the pastor in the spiritual regard, or it could be doctors, nurses, therapists in the physical, emotional. And so I think a big question that I would have for every single person listening is, when is the last time you actually closed your eyes and sat with your physical body? How am I feeling? Do I have aches and joints somewhere?
I do it every day because you want to do it, because it's natural thing. But if people don't know about it, they will not find it. And medicine is so huge area, and I reduced the entire medicine to 12 hours. Sounds impossible, but with a time investment of 2 hours per week, everybody can learn important body skills and be able to clean and transform his own body. And if you can't invest 12 hours in your health, I have some bad news for you, because you're probably not going to make it like all the other people who are suffering for life. And this is the fast track. I can promise results, because I have the results, and I only charge if I get results. So see the results first at no risk. And I'm very sure about my coaching, because it will blow your mind. You will not leave, and you will thank me later, because we solve real cause of the issues, and we don't have to deal with a million symptoms. We don't get distracted with everything. It's all is too complicated. So keep it simple, avoid symptoms, and stay healthy. If you want a different result, then you need new knowledge. And the result of my 6 weeks coaching is lifetime health, longevity. I transfer my entire knowledge in 12 hours, and it opens a new world, because there's a big universe inside of you that you will discover by your own. And with the cleaning techniques, you go inside and you stay pain-free, mobile, and you live a healthy life without any drama.
I want to talk to you a little bit. So first, I love your passion, the passion that you have about your program, Angie. It's so evident because you've lived it, like you've actually healed yourself, and you've healed so many other people. And it's devastating watching others suffer and slowly die and fade away because of the pain that they're in. You're like, wait, I hear the urgency in your voice, and I just wanted to honor that, because man, there's something, once we stumble upon something that's so life-giving and healing for us, we just want to shout it from the rooftop. So I wanted to iterate that. But to this point of integration of our bodies and how we're all interconnected, I want to hear your thoughts on, as you're doing the work to clean these parts of us, our joints. And you even said you held up your arm and you were doing it right there. I'm thinking about everyone who, like me, sits and types all day. I'll go to a massage every 90 days, but every time it's right there in my arm where they're working it out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like it is so tight. And I had a chiropractor tell me probably 2 years ago, he was like, you need to be really careful because you have some symptoms of arthritis already. And I was like, oh, that's not good. I'm 32. And so I thought that what you're saying, I want to touch on that in terms of how your tools and the cleaning of our body, it's every single joint, every single muscle, every single tissue needs to be cleaned. And can you talk a little bit about that aspect of, what happens when it's clean?
Yeah, sure. Because pain is the trigger for many people to get started. But it's just the tip of the iceberg. I only scratch on the surface. If I remove the pain with this tool, it's really fast. But then we go deeper and we get the full package. We get no more symptoms. We get lifetime health, rejuvenation, longevity, spirituality. Everything comes together. It's simple, but it's not easy because you got to learn how and clean up all the mess inside your body. This is a real transformation. The cleaning is really like archaeology, and we go step by step through the entire anatomy, systematic. We drill around the bones and we clean every little edge and corner. We clear any old injury that accumulate in our body, and you will remember all things that happened to you. So I have a question for you and for your audience. If you take the tools and you go inside your body and you find a bone that is shifted or sticking out, what would you do after listening to this interview? Would you leave it there and go fast out of your body and forget it? Or would you work on it, remove the rust, remove the plaque, and try to reset it?
Yes, absolutely. The latter. Yeah. And Angie, I like that you're giving this analogy of our bodies are, it gets rusty from not using it. It gets rusty over time, and we just get, to your point of pain is the indicator that something's wrong. But also, there's just this element of like the aching, where I think for a lot of us, we don't realize that we're actually in pain. Like, I am just used to having lower back pain. That's something I'm used to because I got into a car accident 3 weeks before my marathon. I ran, and I had, I've just had a bad back for 3 years, 4 years. And so I'm just used to it at this point. And a guest on Instagram said that they would work on it. Like, everyone agrees, Angie, that we would do the work if we found this problem. And so what you're saying, and taking an archaeological perspective in the investigation of our body resonates so much. What's rusty? What's the dull ache that we've been ignoring for decades, perhaps? And what's even preemptive? Like, the goal isn't to just go and heal old stuff, but it's to also be preemptive for the longevity of our bodies and the wellness thereof.
Yeah, it's very innovative knowledge because I went so deep inside and I found the rust. And everybody tries to work on the problem, on the symptoms, but they don't have this brand new knowledge. You just have to overcome your fear and go deeper, and it will surprise you. Because this is a brand new approach, and I give my entire knowledge so you can do it. You can do the same thing like me. If you are ready to clean all the garbage, this is what you said before. It's boss matter. You can't delegate. You can delegate a lot of things, but nobody from outside will ever do this job for you inside the job that I'm talking about, to go so deep. So make a peace agreement with your own body. Go in, clean all the destruction, because many bombs have been exploding inside. Every crash is here, and clean up the mess. It's a war zone. Everything is destroyed. You will be shocked once you go in, all the stuff that you find. And then it's not a snap of the finger. It's some work to do the cleaning and to polish the bones, because it's a huge universe inside. So remove all the broken pieces, all the torn pieces, and you will find these old injuries, and this will motivate you to get rid of it. Because nobody will help you from outside. You're on your own. And the earlier you understand this, the better, because it gets fun. It's really fun when you remember everything and when you're in charge. And no health insurance can cover this mess. No government will afford the cost. It's impossible. Each person has to do the cleaning. I am a cleaner for the anatomy, and I can guarantee that everybody can do this.
I love it. I think it's, we talk about radical responsibility a lot on the show, Angie. It's our radical responsibility to take control of our health. And what we're talking about on the physical level, knowing our body physically for the sake of longevity, for the sake of being able to be physically active with our kids, the extension of our life, but the fullness of it today. And so nobody else, just to echo your words, which is such an incredibly important point, Nobody else will be able to heal us like we can. I have talked to so many people who were relying on the external sources, external doctors to try to come, but no one can feel what we're feeling. And so until we can actually be in tune with what we're feeling and actually be able to take the action that you're saying, man, we're going to be our best healers out of anybody. And that doesn't mean we don't, need to go to the doctors occasionally, but I just love this concept of becoming our own excavators of our own body. And to your point, really getting to know it so well. And Angie, to what you were saying about these 6 weeks and the 12 hours, after that, people effectively have done the work to excavate every part of their physical body, and now they can continue onward with the work on their own. Is that correct?
Exactly. So you live with the solution from day one. You don't have to wait 6 weeks. But as we progress in the anatomy, we go through step by step, you understand more and better, but you work from day one on your problems, and you get these aha moments. Wow, what I found, what I'm able to do. And one very important thing is to overcome the fear. Because if we look at the spine, this is like a snake. And people are scared about the snake. But you got to make friends. And it's not so difficult because you can dominate your entire body. You can dominate the spine and all your joints. And that is important. We really do a deep cleaning, and it's painful. And you have to overcome the fear to do it. And start communicating with your body, asking him directly, where do I clean? Okay, is it right, left? Nobody can do it. You just have to ask every time, again and again. And your body is super honest. It's not corrupt, and you cannot manipulate it, but you can make friends. If you don't make friends, the thing is out of control. Yeah, but the body is your best friend. So get to know it. Get to feel it, understand it, and help it. And he will never lie to you. He will tell you, here it is here. You will feel the pain. Just ask him. All the answers are there. Just communicate. And this is all in you. So don't let anybody from outside interfere, and stop this communication.
Angie, I want to go in a quick tangent that I actually feel is really important, and I've never talked about this on the show before.
Yep.
I was in a previous relationship that it felt unsafe to be in my body. And when I say be in my body, it was my intuition. It was my emotions that were being sensed. Our emotions are kind of that automated sensation in our physical body. And because I started shutting that off, I also started shutting off access to pain, like physical pain and the aches and joints. And I just kind of got numb to my whole physical body. And so it's really important for all of us, as we're hearing this conversation around what does it look like to truly take radical responsibility over our body, to know it, to do the work, to truly take ownership over our health. It's really important that we actually look in the mirror and say, is there some other perhaps subconscious block from us being able to even physically access the physical pain as well? Because one of the things Angie said is that when we start doing the work, we'll remember old stories. And sometimes there's some painful stories there. So when we talk about true healing and true health, it's whole body, it's all of the intelligences, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, physical. And so if we're really willing, Angie, you talked about being brave. We have to conquer the fear and be brave. And we don't have to conquer the fear in order to do the work. Sometimes it's recognizing the fear is here and I'm still going to be brave. And I'm going to show up and excavate and come to know what stories might be there. So I'll hand it back over to you, Angie. But I thought that was important, that I had to intentionally go back and revisit some painful memories to be able to start feeling my body again.
Yeah, you feel your body really, and it helps. If you are sad, if you're depressed, whatever, take the tools, because it's in your hands, and go in and do something nice on your body, help your body to heal and reconnect, because this is our connection to nature. And universe really wants us to be free and to be healthy, but somehow we lost the connection. And a lot of information, I think, is missing. But if we would access the entire information, we would take different decisions. And I get my solution on a silver platter so that anybody can open up the chains, everything that is restricted inside your body, learn how to clean the anatomy, and get in touch with that big universe inside of you. Because you can remove not only the actual symptoms now, you can also change the future, because you find symptoms today that would give you problems in the future. And you don't have to ask some people from outside. It's only you and your body. You can solve it together. So just be nice to your body, be a team, stop being a prisoner in your own body. And you can break free if you upgrade your skill and you really make a team with your body.
Wow, Angie, thank you so much. I so appreciate that perspective, because so much of what I focus on is on the emotional side. You know, I had so much emotional pain that I had to move through, and I became so much more emotionally aware, emotionally intelligent. And now, as I'm kind of this past year, I've actually been working more so about becoming aware of my physical body and doing more work there. So this is so perfectly timed. Y'all, we get to be the masters of our physical destiny. And man, there's so much freedom there. I love that you said the word freedom. I actually have a question for those of you who are listening. I would be curious, you know, how in touch do you feel with your physical body? Like, do you actually feel like you're in tune and aware? And then the second question would be, after you answer, you know, how in tune and aware are you? Is there connection between the emotional, the physical, spiritual, intelligent? Like, do you feel like you're a system flowing and operating? And I like to think of our intelligences as directors in a boardroom. You know, each one comes to the table and has data. Our physical body, Angie, one of my favorite books is by Bessel van der Kolk, and he wrote the book The Body Keeps a Score. And so our bodies keep score. And so every fall, every little T trauma that we experience, whether in athleticism, whether it's giving birth, that's a whole other thing for women. My gosh, that's a whole other topic. Even so, the mother and the baby, you know, have the opportunity to actually go through doing this work that you're talking about. But everyone else, you know, for as many of us are sitting and doing computer work, that's a whole other category of people. And Angie, you know, some of my audience is in the home services. We've got a family trades business it's 100 years old. And so my dad is physically moving a lot. And it's just so important. Are we actually carving out space and time to tend to our bodies? And it's not giving it a hard workout to try to lose weight. It's actually healing, actually restoring, and being preemptive and preventative so that we can really have a full, healthy existence.
Exactly. You got it, 100%. Because this knowledge is for the entire family. And we just need to overcome old knowledge, because if you see the old people, they're immobile, they're not paralyzed, they're just rusty. So the earlier you start, the better, you know?
Yes.
This is really, it's a knowledge that needs to come to the families. And the kids will grow up totally different. I have a 4-year-old kid in my coaching, so any age can do it.
I love that.
It's so much fun. But I have also 90-year-old people in the coaching. So everybody who is ready to change and to improve his life and to get rid of symptoms, to control, they can do it. And we need really a big change for the future for our kids. And this can only happen in the family. So if you have kids, if you have a big family, give them the chance to learn this. Because the 5-year-old kid would not sit in my coaching with the relaxer if the parents would not give him the chance.
Yes. That's so good. Angie, I'm so grateful you're talking about the age opportunities here. You know, I think about what would happen if we had anatomy and emotions taught in schools between ages 4 to 7, and they actually learn their bodies like they learn the ABCs. Because yes, we need to learn how to talk for the rest of our lives, but we also exist in our physical bodies for the rest of our lives. And so we're not learning how to be good stewards, you know? And so much of this whole reason why is because we're creating a legacy. Every single day, we're writing and creating what will at some point be at the end of our lives. When we look back, what are we passing along? What have we handed down? How did we love? How did we show up for our families? And so this concept of taking stewardship, taking ownership, being radically responsible touches every single part of our lives, from, yes, our profession to our physical body. And so Angie, I'm so grateful for you coming on here. I know that you've got a webinar coming up that's free that everyone can join. I think it's December 4th. Is that the right date?
Yes, we have a webinar because we need to focus on the one and only thing that is in our hands. And for me, this is our body and our health, because we really can control it. People think we can't control it. You were talking about the school, and I tell you, the education system is another problem that we have on this planet. So also we got to take it in your hands, you know, and you don't need to study anatomy books. Forget it. I've done it. I've worked with many doctors, professors, teachers, whatever. We don't have the knowledge unless we go into our own body and we learn anatomy, not from the books. We learn it inside our own body. And that's the good news, because then somebody from outside can come and tell you, no, you got to study medicine, you got to go to university, you got to read all these books. This is not true. A 5-year-old kid can learn it inside his own body, is super motivated, and will have a different life tomorrow.
Wow. Angie, I'm so excited. December 4th, y'all, I'm going to go. I think I'm available that day. I'm going to go and do your workshop. I'm so excited, y'all. This is probably one of the most important things we can do. Learning our emotions, learning our physical body, learning our spirit, learning our mind. You know, and once we come to know who we are, man, can we love so much better? Can we live so much more holistic? You know, Angie, it's really, you know, the physical body is really our connection point to being able to engage in the physical world. You know, whether we're living in our head all day, whether we're sitting here and living in this multi-universe, if we actually really want to physically live a whole and meaningful life, we have to know our physical body. So with that, y'all, I will drop the link to Angie's website and the webinar, but it's finally-painfree.com. Is that correct, Angie?
Yes, yes, you can join the free life coaching. It's 90 minutes where we go really deep. I have over 200 pictures and videos for you, and I explain exactly how my technique works, because then you can take the right decision for your life. I'm teaching something so radically new that I just need to explain it deeper and longer, and that's why I'm super happy for the webinar coming up December 4th. And you can sign up on the website at /coaching. We're going to put the link below. And I hope you join me in 2 weeks. It's for free. And then you can start this amazing journey into your own body and just get ready for a better future. So I hope everybody joins, and I hope to see you there.
Angie, thank you so much. I'm wondering, one last question. When people, if they can't make that time, if they sign up, will they get the recording? Because I'm looking at that time and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can make it, but will I get the recording if I sign up?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Perfect. Okay, good.
So
Angie,
just sign up, and you get all the information previously also.
Good.
And you will be ready to get this new idea into your own life and be able to start to work with it. Because once you touch your spine, once you touch your anatomy, you will know what is inside your body.
Angie, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. What a gift this is. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on the Knowing Show, y'all. I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully